So I know this is going to shock you guys, but YouTube just did something bad. Yeah, I know. I'll give you guys a minute to gather yourselves. But yeah, Google says artists who upload music to YouTube have already agreed to let the company train AI on their content, according to a new lawsuit filing. So recently, Google got sued because they were using videos to train their music model, Lyria, or whatever the hell you call it. A group of independent musicians are suing them, claiming that it is illegally using songs they uploaded to YouTube to train its model. Google has filed a motion to dismiss the case, saying their lawsuit is based on the unsupported hypothesis that Google trained on their specific works. Even accepting their untested allegations as fact, the complaint cannot stand. Plaintiffs each granted YouTube and Google, which provides the service, a broad license to use the uploaded content. That license, present in YouTube's terms of service, authorized the conduct alleged in the complaint. Well, that doesn't seem right, because I remember that YouTube has a setting that allows us to pick whether our videos will be used to train their AI models. So if you go over to your YouTube studio, on the left side there will be a section that says channel. After you click settings, you go to advanced settings in the middle, and you are going to be shown some things that you can set as channel defaults, right? So for example, you can disable interest-based ads, you can allow videos to clip your content or not to clip your content. But there's a section right over here called third-party training. Allow third-party companies to train AI models using my channel content. If you select this option, YouTube may share your videos with a third-party company, provided that you and all the other applicable rights holders have chosen to allow that company. So it literally says you have to choose to do it for them to be able to share that data. The training permission status of all videos will be available through a publicly accessible interface. So obviously, like any sane person, I don't have this checked, and I recommend you guys go check in your YouTube settings and make sure this is unchecked as well. So I have it unchecked, right? So basically YouTube is saying, so if I was to upload a song on YouTube with my awful voice, right, I'd probably make your guys' ears bleed. YouTube is saying that they have the rights to go ahead and use that to train their Lyria or whatever the hell you say that, or however the hell you say that. I mean, what are you talking about? So you can just train your AI models off of songs even if the person was to say no? This is a standard hedging for a legal filing. You can't prove we did it, and even if we did, we're allowed to. When asked directly if Google was using YouTube videos to train its Lyria 3 AI music model, the company declined to comment. What? They were just directly asked, hey, are you guys actually just using songs to train this model? They didn't even want to comment on it. I mean, that already just shows the guilt right there, because if they don't want to comment on it, that pretty much means yes. Based on past public statements, it seems safe to assume the answer is yes. In an interview from April 2024 with Bloomberg, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan said that some portion of YouTube videos may be used internally to train models like Gemini. Later that year, a blog post about creator tools confirmed as much, saying, quote, "We use content uploaded to YouTube to improve the product experience for creators and viewers across YouTube and Google, including through machine learning and AI applications." So that just begs the question, right? What the hell is the point of this button? I don't understand what the point of this button is. They're just giving us the illusion of choice. So basically, you're trying to make it seem like I can choose whether or not you guys use my stuff to train AI models. But apparently, YouTube is just doing it anyways, and they're facing, a lawsuit for it. And now I don't know if Google is going to lose or win this lawsuit, but let's say they were to lose the lawsuit, right? Google's net worth is literally in the trillions. They're the second biggest company in the world right now. Maybe they can just pay these musicians some hush money and be like, all right, fine, cool. We'll just, you guys win. Here's $1 million. Just leave us alone. But it's just crazy that YouTube is apparently, and essentially to their own admission, using your content to train their AI models regardless of whether you give them permission or not. The company even confirmed to CNBC that it was using YouTube uploads to train Gemini and Veo. What Google hasn't done is specifically confirm that it's also using YouTube uploads to train Lyria. However, in its motion to dismiss, Google says that by uploading content directly to YouTube, the plaintiffs agreed to the terms of service, which grants the company the right to, quote, reproduce, distribute, and prepare derivative works based on the upload. Again, it would make sense if YouTube is saying, hey, we can go ahead and distribute this across our website and all of our platforms. So for example, your videos can end up on YouTube, Google, whatever. But to say that you are essentially allowed to use it to train your AI models just because we uploaded it on your website, it just doesn't make any sense for this button and this button alone. I just don't understand why this is even a setting then. So the point of this Verge article is, why won't YouTube just admit the obvious? Why won't they just say, hey, we're going to go ahead and use your guys' songs and music or anything you upload on YouTube to train our AI model, specifically this Lyria 3 one? Probably because by admitting that and giving it as a statement, then lawyers can use it against Google in court, and it would make them, have a difficult time in their future court battles. So these are the singers that actually went ahead and filed this lawsuit against YouTube: Sam Cogan, Magnus Fiennes, and Michael Mell. It was also the R&B group Attack the Sound, the family folk duo Stan Burgick and James Burgick, and the Chicago-based band Directrix could not prove their claims. So all these people got together and sued YouTube because they were like, hey, why the hell are you guys using our music without our permission to train your AI models? This website, Variety, actually reached out to a Google spokesperson, and they did not immediately respond to any request for additional context. An attorney representing argumenting the plaintiffs did not respond to a request for comment. And so this was something that the attorneys apparently pointed out to in YouTube's terms of service to say, see, we actually disclosed this to you guys already. I don't know why you guys are upset with us. They said, and by extension, its owner, a quote, worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free sub-licensable and transferable license. And they were saying this like this shit was like the intro to Fairly Odd Parents. But anyways, to content that allows it to quote, reproduce, distribute, prepare derivative works, display, and perform it as part of its business. Do I have to point at the button again? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just crazy. And so another thing that makes this really weird about Google, not just the fact that they're not admitting that they're using these songs to train their AI models, is the way they're arguing this, right? So for example, competitors such as Suno and Udio or Anthropic, they have cited fair use arguments to train their models on copyrighted songs and lyrics in lawsuits brought up by labels including Warner Music Group, Universal Music Group, and Sony Music Entertainment. They're actually usually settling all the law stuff by striking licensing deals with the people that are trying to sue them and whatever. But they are referencing fair use arguments, saying like, you know, we have fair use to be able to use this to train our AI models. YouTube's essentially saying, we don't do that. But even if we did, then, you know, this. I mean, it's just such a weird stance for them to take. And so what does that awful model actually do? Well, the model allows users to generate up to 30-second tracks complete with vocals and lyrics from either text prompts or images, while its pro model can create tracks up to 3 minutes long. You could just produce an entire song with these AI models, and you can actually have your base framework from actual artists. That would make the AI songs obviously sound a lot better and more realistic than they would if they weren't having any type of training on real voices, thus allowing you to essentially rip off real artists, use their voices, use their riffs, use all their instruments and stuff to make your own songs and potentially profit off them. Yes, there are some countries and states that have laws that say you can't do that and whatever, but how many people are they going to catch? If so many people are doing this on the internet using these awful AI models to rip off people's music and sell it or whatever, how are they going to be able to catch everybody? They have just opened Pandora's box with all this AI model crap. So the group alleged that Google's infringement actually goes beyond its music generator because of the structural leverage it has due to its ownership of YouTube and Content ID, the rights management services that allow artists and their labels to identify unauthorized use of their work. Google didn't just have access to plaintiffs' music, it operated the infrastructure through which much of that music reached the world, the plaintiffs claim. Google had every opportunity to develop this product legally, but it has long-standing strained relationships with major labels and distributors, and it has the technical infrastructure, financial resources, and industry connections to clear rights before training. Very true. YouTube and Google in general have so much money, so many connections. If they wanted to, they could do this the right way. Despite that, they are being nefarious in choosing to train their AI models without even explicitly telling you. Google chose not to do so, not because licensing was impossible, but because copying was faster and cheaper. Totally agree. So yeah, essentially YouTube is just straight up stealing your music, stealing your songs, and possibly your videos as well with Gemini and Veo, and just using it to train your AI models. Yes, they give you the illusion of choice. Yes, they have those buttons like the ones that I showed in the YouTube settings, where they say, hey, do you actually want us to like give us permission to use your videos to train AI models? I mean, if you don't want to, then you don't have to. I mean, we won't do it unless you ask us to. It's like Raditz trying to convince Goku to let go of his tail. You just can't trust him, man. I don't know. I just can't trust a word that YouTube says anymore. And it's just crazy that a company as big as this, like I said earlier, by net worth, they are the second biggest company in the world behind Nvidia. The fact that they are doing all of this crap to just steal your own content and train their AI models is crazy. Here's some community reaction to this. The TOS should be contested then. Google can go F themselves with their attitude with AI training. Weren't they banning AI slop videos just a few weeks ago, or do they flip-flop every few days? Yes, they do. They do flip-flop all the time. Buried in the terms of service for sure. A clause that's hidden underneath pages and pages full of text in the smallest size possible should not be used as consent when it is intentionally hidden in a way in there with the objective to make people agree with it without reading it. And Odyssey, you know, a company that is trying to compete with Google right now, said, to all artists out there in Odyssey, the content is yours. No hidden terms for AI training. Upload your music, your art, your passion. Everything is verifiable always. This is the time for a YouTube competitor to show up, man. I mean, YouTube is just as predatory as ever. And I feel like it's just going to keep getting a lot worse as Google puts more and more time and money into AI. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.